Okay, so now that you've had a chance to kind of talk through some of Reading Now Network, maybe why you are here, etc., or what you were looking for, whatever your conversations were just about. Now let's dig into a little bit of the details here on what we've kind of worked on as a vision. Teresa has said it, I don't think it can be restated enough, that our vision here really is as much about helping us better clarify. We have the advantage a little bit, and we'll show you this material later, but actually I had the opportunity to work with the group on the end there. Pam is a fellow consultant, and then her teachers from Allegan County. We did a lot of work, especially on the teacher side, so you're going to see some resources around that. But they can tell you that they had a lot of great input into what that became. Pam and I joked at the beginning, we came in heavy with this vocabulary, and we were stuck on this vocabulary module, and I think it was Megan that said, hey, we just did this statewide conference, and you talked about these big ideas. Why aren't we doing it around that? And we're like, great idea. So this is designed in the same respect where if you've got some ideas or some thinking, we really want you to jump in and do that. Now, having said that, we wanted to try to give you at least some starting points, some ideas to at least begin the thought process. So we're going to give you a lot of time to dialogue, but up front here, we're going to go through some of the nuts and bolts of it and some of like what we see it as a framework, and then we're going to ask you for your input in shaping what we've kind of set up as a framework to go from here. So first things first, the project timeline. So here are some key dates that we wanted to put in here. So you're going to notice right off the front today, we're putting this down as required. What it means is that we think it's required that you get to know this content, right? Whether it's the structure, the conversation, however. So we do have some folks, especially from from Mecosta, Osceola County and north, that either were still in school because of weather or because of our tight timeline that we're on to get the work started and completed, weren't able to make the trip today. So that's why we are capturing it online. So that's why I put on here, you can watch it online. You also maybe could go back to review certain sections. We'll put it on there and share it out to everybody. You can go back and say, what was the part they talked about when we, etc. So today's that first day. This is our first face-to-face. We are going to then also, I'll jump down to August 13th. I have this required on. This is like a face-to-face. It'll be similar to this, where we'll kind of come together and kind of do a last end of the summer check-in. So this is a big one where we are going to ask you to come in. However, in between, we are going to have 2 opportunities where you could come here to Kent ISD, and Teresa and I will be available. Those are not required. You do not have to physically come in. We're going to try to set you up today where you're going to be working with a group, and you and your group are going to establish what's the best way for you to communicate and divide and conquer. And then you can just kind of work through the summer as you set your schedules. We know everyone has vacations at different times, etc. However, we also know, especially from the Universal Design for Learning, that people have different needs, and we want to make ourselves available to sit down side by side and have a conversation if that's what you think you need or what fits best for your learning. So we will be in the ISD on the 14th. We have down 9 to noon, but honestly, we'll be here probably the whole day, or at least a good chunk of it. But we didn't want to make you feel like you had to come for the whole time. So you're welcome to come as much as you'd like on that day. We will also be back on the 28th, and we offered this later time because we know childcare and other things, so we wanted to make ourselves available then. If there were other times you wanted to meet, just let us know, and we can try to coordinate the best we can. But we wanted to at least give you 2 anchor points to kind of shoot for to be there. So that's why these dates are included.
Those also coordinate with the days that we are meeting with the programmers.
Good point.
So we can give updates with each other and where everyone's at and what is needed. So
Yep.
we try to keep them spaced out, but they were very
Yep.
intentional.
So Teresa and I are juggling, well, all of us really, are juggling the idea of coordinating with you to create the content, but then we're also coordinating with what I always call the ones and zeros, right? Because we've got to get it to the cyberspace. And so we've got to help them understand, no, here's what we've created, here's what it needs to look like, and then they make the ones and zeros in the right order so it looks the way we want it to look. I did mention this one already, but this is when we have folks get together. We might just kind of do a check-in, maybe do kind of a revise or some mentoring around what does your product look like, what does this look like, and get some feedback, do kind of a critical friends protocol possibly.
And it's also a day that we have in here, and I know I mentioned it to people, that we're going to be creating videos you couldn't find a video, there will be teacher videos where we either explain phonological learning. What's the background of it? What's the research say about it? What's it look like? What's it sound like? We'll be creating some of those videos, and this may be a day that you say, you know what, I don't want to work on those videos during the summer, but I want help. We will make sure that we have people here to help you create those videos.
And that would be for any of these days,
Yes.
right? Yeah. All of these days are coordinated to help you, especially with the video. I think that's the part that will probably need the most support when we get more into that. And then we're shooting for this completion date of September. Well, this is the completion date, so we need you to have of that work done September 15th. And then that gives us a little bit of time, a very little bit of time, to go back through and make sure things are in order and double check things. But pretty much as you're completing things throughout the summer and we see that progress online, we'll probably be converting it into the ones and zeros. And so you'll probably be getting continual feedback along the way where Teresa and I will be checking in, whether it's, hey, it's been a couple weeks, how are things going? Let us know how we can support you. Oh, by the way, we noticed that this work was done. You can go view somebody's item that's already been put online here, that kind of thing. So you can kind of see what people are doing, etc. Any questions about timelines or what we've said? Okay, great.
And again, these are more checkpoints.